So you're thinking of moving right here to the Houston area, but you haven't quite narrowed down exactly which suburb you'd like to focus on. Well, today's video is my personal top 9 Houston area suburbs to do your research on to see if they're the right fit for you. Now, most of these suburbs are gonna fall outside of the loop. We're really talking about family-oriented suburban communities around the Houston area. We'll do other videos on inside of the loop, but really we're talking about the outskirts of Houston, where these suburbs, they really function as their own town. Sure, you've got convenient access to Houston, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, but they're self-sustaining suburbs and they're fantastic places to raise a family. Now, the 9 that I've selected, they come from personal experience. I'm not pulling them from a list from anywhere. I've lived in the Houston area for almost 30 years. I'm a licensed broker here. I run a team here in the Houston area that covers all of Houston, and I've personally sold hundreds of homes here. And so my list, I'm probably gonna get some flack from different agents or different past clients or even friends saying, why didn't you rank mine higher? Well, look, I tried to be as unbiased as possible. Where I live, I didn't even rank number 1. So I hope this is informative for y'all. It's really to get your feet wet, get you an idea of what areas maybe to start keying in on based off of the things that I really love about these areas and the things that I don't like about some of them. So let's get after it right now. If this is your first time to this channel and you really want to know everything there is to know about the entire Houston area, the best way to do that is to subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, and we will let you know everything that you need to know about living right here in Houston, Texas. My name is Ferris. I'm a licensed broker here in Houston with the Living in Houston, Texas team, and we get calls and texts and emails every single day from people that are just like you, watching our videos online, trying to figure out if Houston is the right fit for them. So if that is you, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. That way we can help you make a smooth move right here to Houston. Now, today's video is fun. It's a little more off the cuff. A lot of other videos I've seen on YouTube are very stat driven. This one is more of a feel video, and it's based off of my personal experience selling homes all across the Houston area and running a real estate team here. And so let's jump straight into it. I'm gonna pull up my computer screen. We've got a map right here of the Houston area. And as you can see, I wanna start the video by just laying the groundwork of saying Houston is massive. So just from right here to right here, just this inner loop of Houston, the 610 loop, easily with traffic could be a 30, 45 minute drive. Then you've got Beltway 8, easily with traffic could be in 45 minutes, plus. And then you go even further out here and you've got Highway 99, which really wraps pretty much all the way around Houston. And so today's video is really gonna focus on the fringes. We're talking about self-sustaining Houston suburbs that you really don't have to go into Houston ever if you don't want to. Now, obviously, if you want to go catch a Rockets or an Astros game, that's great. You're 30 minutes to an hour from that, but that's not the primary purpose of where you live. The primary purpose is, being in a suburb that's very family oriented, possibly in a master planned neighborhood. So there's tons of different options. And so number 9 on my list today, it's about as far out as we are gonna go, but I really wanted to feature it because it's really underrated. I actually love this place. We actually own a condo here, run an Airbnb. And so the first one I wanna focus in on is Galveston, Texas. So a little bit about Galveston. Galveston is a 26-mile long island. It's a barrier island here in the Gulf of Mexico. And it used to get a bad rap, I think, because the Mississippi Delta puts out a bunch of muddy water a couple months a year that, Galveston isn't as pretty of a beach as, maybe some Florida beaches or California beaches. But it's still a really nice place. And in fact, it's really picked up the past couple years. It is susceptible to hurricanes. That's probably the downside of living in the Galveston area. In fact, the hurricane of 1910 is really what kept Galveston from being the main hub of Texas. And that's really when Houston started to take off. So fun little fact, but Galveston's a great place to visit on the weekend. I think they get 6 million visitors to the island over the summer. And so that's a lot. And so great place to live, great place to raise a family. Public schools on the island aren't fantastic. I'd say that's a con. but there are private school options on the island. So number 9, Galveston, Texas, a little far out there, but really cool, especially if you want to go bay fishing. If that's a big part of something you want to do, there's no better spot. So number 8 is going to be the Richmond, Rosenberg area. As you can see, it's also pretty far on the outskirts of Houston. Historically, it was a little more rural area, a lot more spread out, kind of smaller town vibes. You've got the Brazos River running through it, but there are a lot of really nice neighborhoods out there. In fact, a team member of ours lives out there. He likes it. He's been out there for a while. And so it's going to have a smaller town vibe. It's for people that are trying to kind of push outside of maybe Sugar Land or outside of Katy, people that maybe don't need to commute into Houston as much. And so really good area, lots of new development out there. So if you're looking for new construction homes, could be a great option for you. So number 7, this is a suburb that's been around for a really long time. It used to be in the 70s, probably the number 1 Houston suburb, and that is Kingwood, Texas. And if you haven't already checked out our Kingwood vlog, go check out our vlog on Kingwood. It's really insightful. It'll tell you way more than I'm going to deliver right now. Today's video is really to just put these suburbs on your radar. So a little bit about Kingwood. It is a master planned community, meaning that one developer bought it. I think it was the Friendswood Development Corporation back in 1971, started developing it, and it really took off. The great thing about Kingwood is it's broken up into over 20 villages. It's very intimate. A lot of the neighborhoods are older, so you're getting more established trees. The cons to Kingwood are going to be that Hurricane Harvey, which was a devastating hurricane that hit the Gulf Coast in 2018 or 2017, it flooded a lot of Kingwood. And so you have to be selective in where you look in Kingwood or know what you're getting into. So that's the con. Overall, the Kingwood schools, I would say, are above average. They're good schools. It's a nice community, well-established trees. They actually call Kingwood the livable forest. So, the Woodlands gets the rap for having all the trees, but really Kingwood, I would say, has almost as many trees as the Woodlands. And so Kingwood, great area to live in, with the small caveat of, make sure you're not going to be in an area that floods. Number 6, this is actually one of my favorite suburbs. It's too small to rank really high on this list. But I would say Montgomery, Texas is a fantastic Houston suburb. Now, who is Montgomery for? Montgomery, Texas is going to be for somebody that maybe isn't commuting into downtown every day. The commute could be hefty, could be an hour 15 minutes. It's somebody that wants access to lake life, somebody that maybe loves golf, maybe has horses. It's out there, right? But they're getting a lot of new development out here in the Montgomery area. So historically, it's a really cute, historic small town. It's actually home of the Texas flag. So this is where the Texas flag was originally sewn. So a lot of cool, little neat characteristics. The reason it's up as high as it is on the list is because it offers a lot of things that different suburbs don't. So it offers new construction at affordable prices. It also offers access to Lake Conroe. You could live on the lake in the Montgomery area. You've got the Margaritaville Resort, so you can do staycations here. And then you're actually about 5-10 minutes south of the Sam Houston National Forest. So fantastic hunting opportunities. You can get permits and go ride your ATVs. There's equestrian trails. It's just really pretty. And as you head west of I-45, the other part of Montgomery that puts it up there on the list for me is how pretty it is. It really is where you start to get the rolling hills, you start to get hardwoods versus pines, beautiful oak trees, nice well-groomed pastures, lakes, ponds. So you can really go out there and buy some pretty land. So that's where Montgomery falls for me, is number 6. If you're looking for a more rural experience that still has some modern amenities, they just got a Chipotle out there, then Montgomery might be the perfect fit for you. It might be your number 1, but just on a general level, all things considered, it comes in at number 6. So number 5 is going to be back on the south side of Houston. So Friendswood, we're going to focus on Friendswood. Friendswood is right along I-45. It's just on the west side of I-45. It's a community that's been around for a while. It's well established. Most of the homes are going to be older. It has a small town feel. What's great about Friendswood, though, is you're about 30 minutes into downtown with no traffic, and you're also 30 minutes from the coast. So if you work at any of the refineries or plants down along the coast, it definitely is one of the nicer suburbs that's still within 30 minutes of your work. And so you're far enough inland where you don't have to worry about storm surge or anything if there's a hurricane. But I will make a note: anything south of I-10, it's going to get hit a little harder if you do have hurricanes. Now, all jokes aside, a lot of the hurricanes look like they're going to hit Houston and then they head towards Louisiana. So every hurricane season, it seems like we have some very close calls, but only occasionally do we get a lot of damage here. So number 5 on my list was Friendswood. Number 4. So number 4 is going to be Cypress. The reason it's not higher is it lacked just a few features that some of the top 3 have. So anyways, Cypress is really well known for their school system. In fact, they're the number 2 school district in Harris County, which is pretty much most of Houston. It is a very big area. So as you can see here on the map, Cypress, all these other little areas are a lot closer in. There's nothing around Cypress. Like this whole chunk, almost all the way down to Katy, is Cypress. And so huge school system. I believe there's 12 public high schools in Cypress Fairbanks ISD. There's only 8 in Katy, and there's only 2 in the Woodlands. So just to give you an example of the size, Cypress is massive. You've got a couple really awesome master planned communities being developed out here. Bridgeland is one of them. They're actually being developed by Howard Hughes, who developed the Woodlands. They're doing a fantastic job there. You've got tons of lakes, hike and bike trails, splash pads, water parks, playgrounds. Really great place. If you're looking for new construction and good schools, it's really hard to beat Cypress. You also have Town Lake, which is a boatable subdivision community. And so you've got waterfront restaurants that we feature in our vlog, as well as our pros and cons video of Cypress. Really great option. If you want to be a little closer into town, you've got pretty direct access right here with Highway 290, and you can just shoot right on into Houston. So it's a little bit closer than some of the other suburbs if you are looking to commute into downtown. And then you're also kind of a straight shot out to Austin. You're on that side of town if you want to head out for the weekend for a trip. So Cypress, the only cons of Cypress, I would say, is that it's so big. There's not, other than Town Lake, that's your main boatable lake there. You're pretty far away from Lake Conroe or the coast if you're looking for the water life. And so number 3 on the list, I personally live here. I struggled to figure out where to put it on the list, but there are a lot of third-party resources that aren't me that will say that this is actually one of the fastest growing towns in the entire country, and that is Conroe, Texas. So number 3, Conroe, Texas. I was actually born and raised here in Conroe, and it is completely different than it used to be when I grew up here. So I've since moved back to Conroe about 4 years ago. We live in a new master plan neighborhood here, and we love it. So Conroe is directly north of Houston along I-45. And you'll see right here on the map, it's really the first town that I would say has like its own loop. It really feels and operates like it's its own town. It's got a historic downtown square, a courthouse. So it's being revitalized right now too. There's a lot of new breweries coming up in Conroe. I think there's 4 breweries here now. And what I like about Conroe is it checks so many boxes. So it's still very affordable, especially for out-of-state buyers, but even for local buyers. There's new development in Conroe. There's affordable established neighborhoods here in Conroe. There's golf course communities here in Conroe. There's lakefront communities here in Conroe. You have a major freeway where all 5 lanes of I-45, including an HOV lane, terminate all the way up into Conroe. And you're 10 minutes from the Woodlands. And so the Woodlands has all of these amazing amenities that I'll hint to, we will get to shortly, but it's got all these amazing amenities, and you're 10 minutes away, but you don't have to pay to live in an older home in the Woodlands. So Conroe's experiencing tons of growth. They've got a huge economic development plan. They've got a private airport. So it was tough to not rank Conroe that high because of everything that it has to offer. And so really love Conroe. Help a ton of people relocate here, not just because I live here, but because I believe in it. And that's why my family ultimately ended up moving here. So let's go to number 2. Now, before I say number 2, this is a very difficult one. Number 2 and number 1, is the second I label one or the other, people are going to battle it out. So I'm going to do what a lot of people would be upset about. I'm going to tie these two. And and I'm going to show you the differences of the two. So the top two that you're going to hear about the most when looking to move to the Houston area are going to be Katy, Texas, and the Woodlands, Texas. And they might not be a tie for you, but on paper they're a tie. And so let me walk you through the key differences. The Woodlands is a smaller area. It's a master planned area right here on the north side of Houston. The location's nice. I would say there's a little bit more greenery here, even though Katy has tons of greenery. The Woodlands is a true pine forest. The way that it was all developed by one developer, so it's more cohesive, it flows better, it's a little bit more intimate. And so as you go through the Woodlands, everything looks the same because of the restrictions on how they developed it. Whereas Katy was all developed by a bunch of different developers. It started as a small town, whereas the Woodlands didn't even start until one developer bought all the land and started building it in 1974. So they're different in that sense. Both of them offer tons of amazing restaurants. I would say the Woodlands edges out Katy slightly in terms of higher end restaurants, higher end shopping. That's where you're going to find your Gucci store or your Tiffany and some of these higher ends, but Katy's going to offer a lot of those as well. There's just a ton of people in both. They're both very affluent communities. I would say they're upper middle class at a minimum for the Woodlands, and then Katy, you've got a little bit wider range of options, but still you've got homes in both ranging well up into the multi-millions. They both have tons of parks, tons of amenities. Now here's where Katy wins, and this is why I couldn't make the Woodlands number one. The Woodlands doesn't offer many new construction opportunities, and a lot of our clients want a new look and feel, and they're handcuffed with these older Woodlands homes, because even if you're okay spending a couple $100,000 doing a complete remodel of a home, you're still stuck with the bones of that old home, and the bones of those old homes, they just flow differently. And so in Katy, for the same amount of money, for $500,000 or $1 million or 1.5, you can go to Katy and have a brand new home in a master plan neighborhood in the top ranked school system in all of Harris County. And so the Woodlands and Katy, since they're not in the same school district, you can't draw a direct comparison. However, they're both some of the best schools in the entire Houston area. So both of those are going to come in at 1 and 2. I'll let you pick. I'd love to see in the comments which one you think's number 1 and number 2 and why. But to summarize, I would say the Woodlands is a little better off as far as shopping and amenities. You've got the amphitheater, but Katy beats it in plethora of housing options. And so both awesome communities. Hope this was helpful. There are a ton of other neighborhoods, suburbs in the Houston area that we have team members that do focus on, and they're fantastic areas. So just because Pearland isn't on our list here doesn't mean we haven't sold there, and doesn't mean it might not be the perfect fit for somebody that needs to be within 20 minutes of the medical center. So if you have any questions about Houston suburbs or about this video, leave them in the comments. Or like we always say, go ahead and just pick up the phone, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. That way we can help you make a smooth move right here to Houston, Texas. Now go check out our vlogs. We've got vlogs on most of these suburbs that we've covered in today's video, and we'll see you guys in the next video.